Evening, everybody. Welcome back to Little Shop of Nightmares. Today I'm going to be working on it's a Peacock blank, the Enlaced Acrylister from woodturnings.com. Working on another one of the mechanical pencils that I still don't know the brand name of. I said one of the guys I work with, his father was a woodworker and he had some pen making stuff, and he finds, as he's cleaning out his wood shop, his workshop. Sadly, his father passed away a while back, and he found those pencil kits and gave them to me. I made him an ink pen for them, and we called it even. And he doesn't know what brand they are, and I don't either. I like them. They work really well. They fit really good. I'm not keen on the gold, but that's just, that's my personal preference. But that's what we got, so that's what we're working with. I may look into getting some other mechanical pencil kits and doing some sets, maybe if I can get some other colors and things. But anyway, that's enough about all that, I guess. So I'll get you guys set up and we'll get started on this thing. I'm interested to see what this blank looks like. I think it's going to be really cool. Here's kind of what we're dealing with to start with. But we'll get it set up and cut up and see if we can turn it or scatter it. It could go either way in this shop, as you all know. But let me get started. All right, I've already taken the time to mark this out. With the acrylic blanks, I think I've went over this before, but with the acrylic blanks, you always want to make them, like if your tube's 2 inches, you want to make them, 2 3/16 or whatever before you cut them. They tend to, if you're not really careful, when you're drilling them for the tubes, they tend to blow out a little bit. And it's been my experience, that's usually about 1/8 of an inch that it blows out. So it doesn't hurt to have a little extra, and you can, sand it off or trim it off if you got a barrel trimmer, however you trim yours. Now let's see if we can get them cut. And I don't know if you can see those marks or not. They're real faint. It's hard for me to see them, but I've put I put a mark here. This blank was like this. And I always mark across it. That way when I go to drill my blank and everything, I know to line those two, line it up this direction when I get ready to turn it and assemble it and everything. That way I keep all my colors and everything lined up, oriented, whatever. But I'll get these drilled and glued up, and I'll bring you guys back on the lathe. All right, I fibbed. I brought you back on the drill press. You can see I've done my best to mark center. The center finder gauge thing doesn't work the greatest on rectangle shaped blanks, but it is what it is, and well, it'll be close enough for getting to work. something that when you're doing the acrylic blanks, you need to clean your drill bit quite often. You can see we got a little bit of blowout right there on the end. If I can get this thing to focus, it might pick it up, might not. It's not bad. And you know, after you've drilled a few blanks, you'll know about where you're at as far as when you're starting to get through the blank. But the big thing with the acrylics, and that's any acrylic, is, you know, take your time, let the drill bit work. Try to keep it cleaned off as best you can, and you know, you'll have pretty good success with them. If you just try to, you know, you're not going to drill it like you will a piece of oak or something. It's not going to take it. It'll break, as you guys have saw me do on the lathe several times. And it doesn't take just, you know, it only takes a second to blow one apart. And one of these days I'll sell enough ink pens to buy a proper blank vise, but till that day arrives, we're going to make do with what we've got. But anyway, let me get this one drilled out real quick, and I'll bring you guys back on the lathe this time, I promise. Alright, as previously stated, I brought you back your setup on the lathe, just not the view you were expecting. As I was drilling this out, I got in a little bit of a hurry. You can see really well how that acrylic blew out right there. But, you know, here's my tube, and I don't know if you can see it in there or not. Well, maybe if I get it in front of the camera. You can still see I've got, you know, plenty of room to sand or trim it back, you know, whichever I choose, and I'm still fit up good on the other end. So that's why you always want to leave a little extra when you're cutting these acrylic blanks. Wood blanks aren't as bad about it, you know, for obvious reasons. But anyway, let me get it glued up now, and I'll bring you guys back in a bit. All right, everybody. I don't know if you can see my lines. I got my lines lined up and everything trimmed down, ready to go. So I'm gonna plug the fan up because it's summertime, East Tennessee. It's hot, and the damn mosquitoes have arrived. So I'll probably be firing up some music on this, but anyway. Something that I'm going to advise, and you need to be wearing eye protection regardless, but when you're working with this stuff. But a face shield would probably be beneficial, a little more so than just regular eye protection. They advise using a what they call a negative rake cutter. This is a standard carbide cutter. This right here is a negative rake cutter. If you can see if it'll pick up the grind. So it's kind of got a little bevel off to it. I'm using the standard cutter to kind of get it down to round because it cuts a lot faster. But you can see if I can get some of them up here. You can see all those little shards. They fly everywhere with that standard cutter. So just you know, protect yourself. You know, I wear my glasses and everything, but just, you know, trying to be helpful, because although I probably don't have the safest shop, I do know how to do things a safe way, and sometimes I choose to do it that way and sometimes I don't. But just, you know, look out for yourself and do what you feel is comfortable. But protect your eyes, because you only got two, unless you've lost one, and you've only got one. But we'll get it started back up. that's snazzy. A capital snaz and little e. They come out looking really good. I like that. I'm going to flip you guys around. You guys see the mess this shit's made. So bear with me for a second. Damn. That fan has pulled that stuff everywhere. Now the neighbor's dog's going to bark. But yeah, it's, I don't know. Let me get this thing thrown together and I'll bring you guys back. Alright folks, we got it all put together, set up here. We'll get a little better light on it. Maybe you guys can see it. I think a Blister will like it. And, well, if she don't, I like it and I'll keep it. But anyway, also a little update. I noticed earlier I was checking things out, and we're up to 97 subscribers at time of recording this. So we're getting a little bit closer to that 100 subscriber giveaway. If you've got friends that might enjoy this content, send them over, check it out. I don't remember, it was early, but I made the menagerie pen. It'll be in the wood pen section. If you guys haven't saw that video, go check it out. And when we get to 100 subscribers, I'm going to give it away. And I don't know if I'm going to do like a live video drawing kind of thing, or what I'm going to do with that. And just, to be fair, if I've given you a pen in the past, if you're subscribed and I've given you a pen in the past, I'm probably not going to, I'm going to eliminate you from, eligibility, just, to make it fair for everybody. But as always, if you've enjoyed this, like, comment. If you have suggestions, my email is on the channel home page thing. There's a link to my email there. You can email me there, or leave a comment and we will check it out. And if it's something I can do, we'll try it. If it's something I can't do, we might try anyway. So who knows? But as always, if you've made it this far, thanks for your time and understanding and putting up with the little shopping nightmares, and I'll see you on the next one.